Hello, party people! Okay, today we are going to be talking about some new bags. I review a lot of handbags on here. I have a couple Kuyana videos, I have some Neverfull videos, I have an Everlane video, I have a lot of handbag videos because I love bags, and I think reviewing them is actually really fun because I kind of get to get into the nitty-gritty of pros and cons. I have a really busy, hectic schedule. I do commute, so for me, my bags have to be very specific. It's not like tiny little decorative artsy bags. These are very functional workhorse style bags. So today, this isn't really going to be a review because if you actually have followed me either on Instagram, my blog, or here on YouTube, my reviews are very thorough, and I definitely don't take them lightly because I don't like recommending or crapping on a bag before I've really gotten to use it and had time with it and actually get to give you guys the real scoop. Today is going to be sort of like an overview of the SENREVE Maestra bag. I have it now in 2 sizes. We'll talk about how that came to be. I'll give you some first impressions. I have been wearing one of them for a few days now, so this is again not a review. This is like first impressions overview, why I want to review it, and then we'll kind of talk about where I see this heading in terms of liking it or not liking it. These bags are not cheap, so we kind of got to figure that out. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And then down the line, I will do a review here on YouTube, on the blog, on the gram, everywhere. Keep on watching. Alright, so here is bag number 1 in question. This is the MIDI size, but in general, this is the SENREVE Maestra bag. This is the bag that we are talking about today. So the MIDI is their medium size. They have one that is smaller than this and then one that is larger. I do have the larger one on hand as well. We'll talk about it in a minute. But essentially, like, what caught my eye about these is the fact that, one, they're all over social media. They're everywhere. Seriously, if you have seen or heard of this bag, in fact, the reason you probably searched for it and ended up on this video is because it's all over social media and you wanted to know if it was legit and worth it. Every Instagram person has this. Social media has taken it by storm. So I saw that as well. And then also this kind of falls into an interesting category. As someone that loves handbags, reviews handbags, uses handbags, this sits in a really interesting place because it's not luxury technically. It is because it's like handmade in Italy, but it's not Louis Vuitton, right? We're not talking about luxury designer prices. We're not talking about Chanel, Givenchy, you know, Saint Laurent. We're not talking about Prada. It doesn't have that price point. The bags are sub $1,000. I mean, not by much, but they are under that $1,000 price point versus, you know, even an entry-level Louis Vuitton handbag like the Neverfull, that's like $1,300 minimum. They keep going up in price. So it was interesting to me because it's like they sit in a unique spot, right? We're not talking about Louis Vuitton, but we're also not talking about Kuyana. Kuyana sits at a much lower price point. Their tote is maybe 300 bucks. And what is the price of you? You're a lot, $7.95. This one is in the pebbled leather, it's $7.95. So here's the deal. I kept seeing everybody with these bags. I kept seeing it all online. And I know as somebody that likes bags in this range where it's like maybe not quite designer, but I don't like handbags that are cheap. Is that the right word? Cheap? Yeah, I don't like cheap, crappily made items. Like I like things that are classic and capsule wardrobe style. I don't mind paying for things that are premium if I know they will last me a while and I will use them. But I'm also very strict, like one in, one out. If I get something new, I get rid of something else. And I'm very, very strict about if something does not get used, it has to go. So I'm on board with stuff like this, not to mention the fact that between all the videos and blog posts I have now reviewing bags, I think you could say I'm a professional. Straight up, I wanted to review SENREVE Maestra bags for YouTube. I wanted to review it for you guys because I started looking around trying to get information on these bags. There are some videos, they're solid, but there's really not a lot of them, to be honest. And I think they fall into 2 camps. You've either got people that were straight up paid and sponsored to talk about the bag, so an actual ad, or you have people that are not paid at all, they bought it themselves and they're reviewing it, which I love that aspect of it, but at the same time, when you're coming at it from that standpoint, it gets very personal versus treating this almost like a business and reviewing the bags as a business, which is kind of what I do. So I actually reached out to SENREVE. They did not reach out to me at all. I was not paid to make this video. I was not required to make this video, but I did ask them to send me a sample because I wanted to review it and be able to do this for this channel and create all this content for you guys so that you know the truth, the pros and cons, whether or not you want to buy this bag. So that review is coming, but this was a PR sample from SENREVE. I reached out to them, like I said, not paid, no requirements, no strings attached, nothing like that. They were nice enough to actually offer me a code if you do want to use it. I'm always fully transparent about my use of affiliate links, so that is an affiliate code, Bagels, if you want it. So I'll leave the details here if you actually want to use that. But you know, honestly, you guys, I just wanted it to create the content. I wanted it to test out and be able to give you a really good review on it. And we'll get to the meat of the scenario in I think a few weeks. But I do have some first impressions thoughts here. So first of all, the size. I went with the MIDI size when asking for a sample because I thought to myself, I'm a small woman. I'm 4'11". I'm not tall. So I thought this would be the most appropriate. I don't even know what that means with handbags. Everything is appropriate. I thought it would be the best size for my height, and I thought with color it'd be nice to just keep it neutral. If you follow me, you know the whole capsule wardrobe situation. I really don't own or wear any color, so for me this is just dead on neutral. If you've made it to this video, I think you kind of know the basics of the bag. It does change from a like crossbody shoulder bag into a backpack just by like tugging the straps through these little D-rings, which is really hard to do with one hand, through these little D-rings like that. What I will say first impressions wise, again, this is not a review, but what I have liked about this bag over the last like 3 days of wearing it, shockingly, I've enjoyed wearing it as a backpack a lot. It's actually been a very functional backpack. The other thing I'll say, the leather is incredibly structured and sturdy. I had no worries about taking this on the bus to work. I felt safe and secure. That's the other thing. It's very safe and secure. So first impressions, this is hard to get in and out of, but because I actually enjoy wearing it as a backpack, I like that aspect of it so far. I really enjoy the fact that if I am gonna put it on my back, I live in a big city, I live in San Francisco, ain't nobody getting into my bag, you know what I'm saying? So, my first impressions, I enjoyed taking it to work, but the thing is I couldn't really fit everything in it, and that's my own fault because when I reached out to them and asked for a sample, I asked for this size, and then I was like, you know what? I wanna do more. I wanna create more content. I wanna be able to compare and have that sort of like perspective when I actually do get to my review. So I made the decision to actually sell some of my other bags that are not getting as much love in order to buy the larger size. It's got stuff in it, that's why it looks the way it does. So this bad boy arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago. So have not taken it out at all. I actually got it on Poshmark, crazy discounted because it does have a little bit of damage inside, not on the outside, just on the inside. So SENREVE did not send this to me. They didn't even know I was gonna go ahead and get this, but I just had so much fun playing with this little bad boy for like 3 days that I just became obsessed with the idea of creating a more holistic review, looking at both sizes, how I use them, why I use them, and if they are worth it. So I will say that again, like I treat reviewing handbags like a business. My blog and my YouTube channel are my business. So I take it very seriously. So I did have to say goodbye to some bags that I did really think were beautiful, but maybe just didn't get a ton of use out of. RIP. But seriously, follow me over on Poshmark. That's actually where I sold them. That's where I got this bag. So this bag on Poshmark was, I think under $500. And again, full price, this is pretty close to $900. So it was like a solid discount. And I do kind of like swap PR samples in and out if I'm not using them very much, but I always reinvest back into the business to create more content for you guys. Okay, but real talk, I'm very excited about this one. It was obviously it makes sense to me that it was hard to find pre-loved versions of this in like neutral colors on the market. To be honest, there really weren't a lot of these bags on Poshmark, and that does tell me something. That tells me something that kind of tells me that people don't really sell them. Like I didn't see a ton of them out there. It wasn't like a Balenciaga city bag where it's like there's 800 of those on any resale website at every given moment. There really weren't a lot of these, and especially within a price range that I was willing to pay for a used one, you know, there really weren't that many color options. So blue is actually, it's called Marine. It's like a deep navy. It is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, to be honest with you. We'll see how much I pick it up. Again, I'm really hoping that I can just kind of understand comparatively between the regular Maestra and the MIDI Maestra when I pick each one up, pros and cons of each, and be able to do a more holistic conversation for you. But the blue is interesting. We'll see about that. So anyway, it came about an hour ago. I did unbox it. I went ahead and packed it up to see if it could fit all of my workday items for the days that I do go into the office. It seems to do a solid job, so I think, you know, to be determined. This feels a little bit like a rambly video, so I am sorry about that. Like I said, I'm so specific with my reviews and I just don't like doing them prematurely, but I was really excited to get my hands on these bags. I was really excited to start talking about them, kind of let you know that I will be reviewing them and will be talking about them. So definitely follow me over on Instagram. I would love if you guys in the comments here could actually leave questions that you have about the bags, so that way as I am going through this process of testing them out, I can make sure that I'm answering those questions in the review video that I do in a couple weeks to really outline that for you guys. So you know the drill. Hit me up in the comments, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.